gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Robert Sports Show. I'm your host, Robert. NFL Week 16. 2 weeks left of the regular season. So far, year to date, Week 1 through 15, win-loss 144 and 80. Against the spread, 118 and 106, and over-under 117 and 107. I've done every game through Week 1 through 15. I'm going to continue that here in Week 16. I'd like to throw a little nugget out there. Fantasy football, I know a lot of you guys are doing fantasy. I'm not doing horrible in two of my leagues. One league, I'm actually got the battle for last place. I got the last place game. There's like 8 people in the league. I'm currently 7th, so I need to win not to be in last. It is what it is. My first 2 picks were Aaron Rodgers and Jordy Nelson. That's it. As we know, Aaron Rodgers retired for Week 15. He's back on IR for Week 16, which Packers were eliminated from the playoffs when Atlanta won on Monday night, so there's no reason for Aaron Rodgers to play anymore this year. In that league, I had the greatest Week 16 acquisition in the history of fantasy football. I was able to pick up Ezekiel Elliott for Week 16. Obviously, a 6-week suspension. Person who had him, why they dropped him, but hey, I get it. You get only so many bench spots. You want to kind of mix and match, and I understand. I would have done the same thing. I just happened to be on the waiver wire this morning, looking for a running back. I got Leonard Fournette. He's my only running back on my roster. Wasn't sure of us, and I'm playing for last place. I don't want to be in last place. I'm like, yeah, I need to win this week. 4-10 on the year, 4-11, 4-11. Like, I got to win this week, So I'm looking for running backs, and Ezekiel Elliott pops up. I'm like, that was a no-brainer. So hopefully he's ready to go. All right, so NFL Week 16, first game, we have Indianapolis Colts 3-11 versus the 8-6 Baltimore Ravens. Baltimore Ravens are on the outside looking in. They need Tennessee and Buffalo both to lose, and they need to win to really do anything with this 3-8-6 teams. Baltimore favored by 13.5. I got them winning, covering, and over on the 41.5. Colts are 1-6 on the road. They're 3-11 on the year. They're not going to do much. They're just waiting for Andrew Luck to come back next year. Next, we have the 11-3 Minnesota Vikings versus the 7-7 Green Bay Packers. Vikings are currently second in the conference. They are the NFC North champions. They have a lot to play for here, fighting with the Rams and the Eagles for first round bye and home field advantage throughout the playoffs. They got an 8. They're favored by 8.5. I got them winning. I think Brett Hundley he's finally kind of getting that next step here. Getting a lot of these starts this year. Got 2 more starts the rest of the season. It'd be great to see Green Bay get at least a minimum 8-8. I mean, if you can go 1-1 over the next 2, 500 season, even 9-7 would be great. That would be amazing for the Packers. 500 year with losing Aaron Rodgers most of the year. Any Packers fan will love that. I got the Vikings winning, covering the 8.5 and over on the 40.5. Next would be Los Angeles Chargers at 7-7 versus the New York Jets at 5-9. Chargers favored by a touchdown on the road. Traveling across country, I am picking them to win. They're over 3-4 on the road. They weren't playing so well here late in the season. I really want to go with the Jets, but I'm going to go with the Chargers. Got them covering the touchdown and under on the 42.5. Next, we have the Miami Dolphins 6-8 versus the Kansas City Chiefs 8-6. Chiefs need a win with the Chargers' loss in order to win the AFC West. Chiefs favored by 10. I got them winning, covering, and over on the 44. Next, we have the 9-5 Atlanta Falcons versus the 10-4 New Orleans Saints. Right now, the New Orleans and Carolina are tied at 10-4 for the NFC South lead. If Atlanta wins and Carolina loses, we'll have 3 10-5 out of the 4 in the NFC South. Just amazing. Falcons are currently the 6th seed in the NFC. I am taking the Saints to win. I got them covering the 5.5 and under on the 53. Next, we have the Denver Broncos at 5-9 versus the 6-8 Washington Redskins. Denver 1-6 on the road. Yeah, I don't see them doing anything here against Washington. They're 4-3 at home. Redskins favored by 3.5. I got them winning, covering, and under on the 41. Denver needs a quarterback. Maybe it's Kirk Cousins. Maybe they're going to kind of interview the quarterback for next year. Maybe it's Eli Manning. They need to get someone. Paxton Lynch, Brock Osweiler, and Trevor Siemian is not it. Those guys are not the quarterback of the future for the Denver Broncos. Next, we have the shocking 10-4 Los Angeles Rams versus the 8-6 Tennessee Titans. Rams have a 2-game lead in the West. A win. They win the West. Seattle lost. Rams are still fighting for home field advantage, which really isn't home field advantage when most of your home fans are road fans till your new stadium gets built. Who knew Jared Goff was as good? Is this what Mitchell Trubisky will be next year? Because if you look back a year, what Jared Goff was this time last year is what Mitchell Trubisky is right now. So is this the Bears next year, possibly? Like I said earlier, Tennessee needs a win. They're tied for last spot in the playoffs with Baltimore and Buffalo. Oh my God, that's just a whole little just clustered 8-6. I'm picking the Rams to win. I get them covering the 6.5 and under on the 48.5. Next, speaking of the Buffalo Bills, 8-6 versus the New England Patriots. They are first in the NFC. They are AFC East champions. They have been 4-2 at home this year. They're favored by 11.5. They're really not playing for a lot. Is it too early to kind of take it easy? Do you rest Gronk because of all his injury history? Do you rest Brady? Or do you just put the, pedal to the metal and go for it? You're already locked in, basically, almost number 1 seed. I mean, you got the tiebreaker against Pittsburgh. So, I don't know. I'm picking New England to win. I got them covering 11.5, and I'm taking under on the 47. Next, we have the Cleveland Browns at 0-14 versus the Chicago Bears at 4-10. Bears win this. Cleveland go 0-16 this year. They'll get the number 1 draft pick, and then when that team gets a season older and a couple more pieces, they will be good. That defense is on the verge of being good. Is Deshaun Kaiser the future quarterback? Who knows? Do they use the number 1 pick and go get a Lamar Jackson or somebody like that? Or do you trade it and get maybe some late first round or early second round picks? So they have some decisions to make there. Bears win. They'll go 5-10. Maybe get a 5-11 season, 6-10. Mitch Trubisky is this time next year will be what Jared Goff was like. What Jared Goff is this year. So this time next year, Mitch Trubisky will be what Jared Goff is today. Bears win, cover the 6.5 and over on the 38.5. Next, with the Detroit Lions versus the 8-6 versus the Cincinnati Bengals at 5-9. Detroit is on the outside looking in. They must win here. They're favored by 4.5. I got them winning, covering, and over on the 43. I think Cincinnati is going to have they're in the off season, just delete it and start over. I mean, that's all they can do is dismantle everything and start over. Marvin Lewis will be gone. Andy Dalton might be gone. I mean, how far do they take this? Because they're just not good. Next, we have I got Detroit winning, covering the 4.5 and over in the 43. Next, we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at 4-10, 1-6 on the road versus the Carolina Panthers, 10-4, tied with the Saints for the NFC South. Panthers, they want to win the AFC South, or NFC South, excuse me. They're going to win here, so they're favored by 10. I think they'll cover that easy and over in the 46.5. Next, we have the Jacksonville Jaguars at 10-4 versus the San Francisco 49ers at 4-10. Jacksonville is already clinched the playoff spot. If they win and the Tennessee loss, they win the division. San Francisco's won 3 straight. Jimmy Garoppolo is 5-0 as the NFL starting quarterback. Jacksonville's favored by 4.5. Can't believe I'm actually doing this. Given the 4.5 to the Niners, I got the Niners plus 4.5, covering it under on the 42.5. Wow, that'd be an upset. Next, we have Seattle at 8-6 versus Dallas Cowboys at 8-6. Yeah, Dallas, Seattle, Detroit, all tied at 8-6. Dallas gets Ezekiel Elliott back. My week 16 fantasy pickup. Dallas favored by 4.5. I got them winning, covering, and under on the 47. Next, we have the New York Giants, 2-12 versus the Arizona Cardinals, 6-8. Giants have lost 4 straight. They're 1-6 on the road. They currently have the second worst record in the NFL, and I believe, they got. Cleveland's got 0 wins. They got 2, and Indianapolis has 3. So New York is on the process of possibly having the second draft pick this year, so we'll see what they do with that. Hopefully Eli's gone. He doesn't need to be there anymore. He needs to go to Jacksonville or Denver and win. Arizona favored by 4.5. I got them winning, covering, and over on the 40. On Sunday Night Football, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers at 11-3, the AFC North champions, versus the Houston Texans at 4-10. Steelers favored by 10. I got them winning, covering, and over on the 44. And last but not least, Monday Night Football, we have Oakland Raiders 6-8 versus the Philadelphia Eagles 12-2. Eagles currently NFC East champions. They already clinched a first-round bye. All they need to do is get Nick Foles rolling with this offense, which obviously getting a win last week over the Giants was kind of a stepping stone. Get him comfortable with the offense, get him rolling, and roll in the playoffs. I don't think they'll miss a beat without Carson Wentz. I think Nick Foles is quality enough backup to take them all the way through the NFC and possibly Super Bowl? Question mark? We're looking at the Eagles Patriots Super Bowl this year. Too early for that. Eagles favored by 9. I got them winning, covering, and over on the 48.5. All right, that will wrap up Week 16 of the NFL football season. Stay tuned to Robert Sports Show for Week 17 next week. Make sure you check out the NCAA Bowl Games preview here on Robert Sports Show. As always, thanks for watching Robert Sports Show, and don't just have a great day, have a spiffy day. Robert Sports Show, your YouTube leader in sports channel content.